Good morning, it's Jonathan Barrett with Morning Debrief, 28th of February, 28th of January, sorry, skipping ahead, a month ahead. 28th of January, the current time is 8:06. The US markets have closed for their day session, and we've got one more trading day left in January. So far, things are looking relatively mixed and positive. I guess last night's major news there was had to do with US durable goods orders and jobless claims. US jobless claims were up to 51,000, not really positive. Durable goods, complete turnaround there. We were expecting a gain of 1.5. Actually came in negative, down 2.5. But it seems to be the equity markets are holding up. Some of the other commodity markets are still under pressure. A little bit of a surprise on some of them because we had some very good support in gold at 1320. Oil, not surprising, still under pressure as well. That's down about 1.5%. That spread between Brent and West Texas seems to be coming in a little bit, which is also relatively good news. Something we haven't seen for some time, where it's blown out to about $10. Okay, let's run into it and just have a bit of a quick move around what's happened there. Let's just just move into there. That's not what we want. We'll just go www.bloomberg. A bit of a wrap around exactly what's happened there. Okay, on the close, the Dow only up 4 at 11,989. The S&P up 2.3, and the Nasdaq up 15.78. Across the board, the FTSE was down 4. Obviously, concerns happening in Egypt affecting what's happening on the FTSE and also the pound. The top 50 in Europe was up 21. The CAC was up 10, and the DAX was up 28. Local market closed up. And we'll just quick local market closed up 7 points, and we'll just grab that now, just to check that. Yeah, there we're up 12 points to 4,798. So relatively positive on that note. Okay, let's have a look at some of the commodities now, and you can see some of the movement and shaking that we had last night. And if anything, they're quite interesting. A couple of things, particularly on gold. If we quickly look at that, 1311 is where gold is. Now, that has caught us a bit by surprise. We actually thought it was good buying around that 1320, 1340, but she's broken through that level. Still at the lower end of the range, but there is obviously a bit of a trend forecast there, so I would be a little bit cautious about those long positions. What we are seeing is a drop-off in demand on the ETF side. Last year, the drop-off in demand was by about 41%, but I think as people see more of an uptake in the equity markets, we're going to move out of those ETFs, and with that cash, we're going to move into equities. And I think that's pretty much exactly what is happening. The SPDR just the other night dropped about 20 tons, and I wouldn't be surprised if it's a similar number last night. That gold is physical gold held, has to go somewhere, so it'll go into the market. Okay, so gold under pressure there, as you can see, broken through some pretty major stuff there. Obviously, I think I'd like to see it close back above that 1340 area, or back above 1320 to 30 to conclude that that a low is in place, but we'll have to see how that pairs out today. We do obviously have GDP in the States tonight, so that could be quite important. But anyway, gold's certainly under pressure. I did call a low for it yesterday, and buying dips back to 1330, but I think that's a little bit too optimistic at the moment, particularly we're down here. So very cautious there as to what occurs. Crude oil, 85.45. Remember, we did see some builds in inventories, particularly in the States. There is this disconnect between Brent and West Texas. A lot of people actually calling for more interest, I guess, or more of a realistic price in the oil price, and a lot of people are actually looking at that Brent contract. But as it stands, crude oil are still under a lot of pressure there. Broken this trend here, which suggests a move back to $80 US dollars a barrel. So that's something which I think is pretty much on the cards. As contrast, copper, 432.20, that held up very well, and that's, I think, reflecting coming into Chinese New Year, just a bit of demand there for the commodity, and that it tends to be a seasonal thing for it. And I actually feel that copper holding up exceptionally well when other commodities are going lower. US dollar weaker, supporting copper as well. But as you can see on the US dollar, 77.84. Just marking time, nothing too aggressive either way. That's the daily charts, and obviously see we're getting a bit of a low here as well. My view is that that is a low of importance down at 76, so I think I'd be accumulating dollars at around these levels. So yeah, so and you can see that in the Aussie, 99.16. A little bit of a moving and shaking there, but it does look like a funny movement or continuation move on that Aussie, so I wouldn't be surprised if in fact we see it hit to the lower end of the range, particularly with gold certainly under pressure. Dollar yen, a trade which we've been looking at for a long time and have on board. A little bit of a spike last night, which was nice and encouraging. Hopefully that's the end of it, and we look forward to prices back through to 85. Just looking at the Dow, we'll look at that through the mini at 11,994 on the futures. Really want to see it do something fantastic, but I don't know how you can get really excited about it, given that some of those economic numbers. Housing starts are good, but what we have to question is the housing there as a result of the stimulus packages put together, or is the market working by itself? That old adage, concerning the market, if you keep telling the market that it's all right, then it will be all right. I think it's starting to play out here with the Dow. Certainly those jobless claim numbers and durable goods orders were not encouraging. One aspect too tonight to watch is the GDP out of the States, so that'll be widely screened and widely watched. Let's see what the Dow does on the back of that. Okay, local market, 47.87. I think if anything there, that seems to be holding relatively well. And if anything there, we want to see move higher from here. That's the trend line we're watching. So if it takes it out, then I think it does have a little bit of concern for me. So let's see what happens there. 47.35 takes out that, then there is a little bit of an issue. Okay, now in terms of everything else, that's probably about it. The wheats, we're still long, but wheat, in my mind, a little bit of correction last night, 846.50, and also soybeans and corn. Soybeans actually had a positive night last night. We actually felt that was the poorer cousin the other day, and that's certainly playing catch up there. So quite good on that front there. You can just see the soybean market. I'll just pick it up there. Soybean in itself there, it came back, but I think actually looking not too bad. Let's see what unfolds on that front. Okay, now economic calendar, as we mentioned, Friday, most important things that come out, obviously in the US, GDP, GDP price index, core PCE, personal consumption, and the University of Michigan confidence. So there's a little bit of data out there which I think is relatively important. It's sort of got to egg on what we feel about a slow breakout for the economy, and that QE2 is going to continue to support the effort that we have an economy slowing down, but we continue to pump prime. I think that's the trend for the foreseeable future. Well, that's about it for me for today. Hope everyone has a good day, and we'll certainly talk to you later. Take care.